It appears what we've been predicting for months may be the case. Saquon Barkley, an exit out of New York, very likely according to a Giants reporter speaking on ESPN New York radio. We're breaking it down right now. Saquon Barkley, emergency live stream, doing it live. File on in.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios.
It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live!
Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've been saying it for months now, I guess, really. Saquon Barkley not likely returning to the New York Giants. We've been waiting for some sort of, news to somewhat suggest this is the case. Now, let me preface by saying we go live here whenever news breaks, whenever big news breaks, sometimes to shoot down a rumor, sometimes to confirm we believe the rumor to be true, sometimes to break actual hardcore factual news, and sometimes something's just out there in the ether enough to be talked about. This doesn't lock anything in. This is one reporter, a Giants reporter, mind you, that's got good insight and intel and connections to the Giants and the situation. But my job is not to come in necessarily and only break factual news. It's sometimes to come in and say, I'm getting DM'd like crazy on this, or I feel just because I saw it, immediately say this is some conversation to kick around at the office. We go live. So I don't want to hear this is fake news, Smitty. This is nothing's concrete. We know that. But this is getting kicked around, talked about, and it's my job for you to have something to consume on a daily basis. And this is the biggest news we can find right now, and it's worthy of being talked about. The darn cameras are not set up properly. Let's try this one more time. Saquon Barkley, you're worthy of being talked about, pal, even when rumors are hitting the news wires, pal. And I'll tell you what, we got the Barkley board. Why do I keep going back to the running back ADP ranking scene? We've got the Barkley board, which very much makes me excited. I get giddy looking at this thing. I don't know about you guys. Houston, LA, even the Philadelphia Eagles, the Cincinnati Bengals, and the Buffalo Bills. Not the most likely of landing spots, but Dallas, Baltimore, Houston, and LA. Those are the four most likely landing spots for this man. Now, I've pegged Derrick Henry going to Dallas. I think Derrick Henry's going to Dallas. It feels like it's going to happen. It just does. That leaves, even though Dallas could be a Saquon Barkley landing spot, they might be very entertained by that prospect because money's involved too. Youth is involved. Derrick Henry doesn't have 2-3 years left. Ziggy, show me the front door. We got someone at the front door. He doesn't have 2-3 years left. This guy's turning 30 years old this season. Ziggy, show me the living room. What do we got going on here at Casa de Smitty? Do we need the, and Ziggy's, the camera for Ziggy isn't even working. Houston, LA, Dallas, and Baltimore. Those are the four landing spots. Barkley comes down to, he's got 2 years, maybe 3 years left, according to most scouts, teams, people in general. I think it's more like 1 to 2 before he starts missing a chunk of time. He's a very injury-prone running back. I'm not saying put all your eggs in one basket in Barkley, even if, let's say, he falls in a Houston situation. But he's exciting. It's a great player to go get. In Fantasy Football 2024. He's got second round buzz written all over him. He's one of the best running backs to grab in round 2. In round 2 becomes a little bit, not a dead zone for RBs, but a dry zone where you've got Devon Achane, you got Saquon Barkley. You have just a couple names and runners that feel very secure and solid in round 2. Round 2 is very dry. right now. Now, some rookies are going to get injected. Maybe Blake Corum or potentially Trey Benson or maybe Braylon Allen. Maybe one of these rookies falls in an amazing situation and vaults into that late second, early third round territory. Or maybe no rookie running back in 2024 even breaches the top 4 rounds, something we haven't seen in a very, very long time. That just goes to show how weak in general the rookie running back class is comparatively to other years. But situation's king. In a weak running back class, the right running back, Allen, Trey Benson, Jonathan Brooks coming back from injury, but Corum, one of these guys in the most ideal of landing spots, let's say Blake Corum in a Chargers uniform, might vault that running back, one of them, into the 3.1, 2.12 to 3.08 territory. So the dry zone could become injected with 1 or 2 names as with the offseason moves along. Derrick Henry in Dallas, I'm sure, is going to climb up rankings. I love him in round 4, and I don't even love Derrick Henry. I love Derrick Henry in round 4. I admit it. I'm sorry. In round 4, why not? In round 4, why not? In round 2 or round 3, where's my Barkley board? In round 2 or round 3, I don't like Derrick Henry at 30 years old. I still feel very, very much like he can't. How does he keep doing it? I mean, at some point we got to just say, let him do his thing. Stop doubting him. Let him do his thing. But he looked like he slowed down a little bit. Put him in Dallas, though. Maybe 10 touchdowns, even on 900 yards, 800 yards. So I like Derrick Henry. I like Saquon Barkley. I like Devon Achane. I like a couple running backs in that second, third round territory. If let's say Henry's in Dallas, maybe third round. But I love him in 4. I don't like him in 2. Barkley, I love in round 2 if he's in Houston. Barkley, I love in round 2 if he's in LA. Barkley, I love in round 2 if he's in Dallas or if he's in Baltimore. Philly, Cincy, Buffalo, depends on the situations, but there's certainly a lot of value there. This is news. This is breaking news. It doesn't matter if it's concrete. Doesn't matter how far we are away from free agency. Doesn't matter if we hear something different tomorrow. This is hitting ESPN New York radio. This is being talked about. This is being kicked around, and you need me to come in and explain my take, regardless of whether the news is even close to remotely being true or unfolding the way it says it will right now. Eric with the $2 super chat, Smitty the GOAT. No, you're the GOAT, buddy. You're the GOAT. You're the GOAT. You're the GOAT. You're the reason I'm here. Without you guys, I'm nothing. I work for you. And when news breaks, when big news breaks, we go mother freaking live. Boss horn in full effect. Open the phone lines briefly. I don't know how long we'll be here. Do it live.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Don't know how long I'll be here. This is a breaking news show. This is how we do it. It's how Dad did it. It's how America does it. So far, it's worked out pretty well. Dial in. Blake Corum, better than Dameon Pierce or Singletary, though. In LAC, under Harbaugh's command, yes. Under Harbaugh's command, Blake Corum would be great. Under a committee or a not-so-great situation, Blake Corum might be not the right build for the NFL to endure. But situation's everything. Does anybody believe Alvin Kamara would have ever become Alvin Kamara had he not had a coach in New Orleans that believed in him? Because his stature at that time was too small. Couldn't hold up. He did hold up. All he needed was somebody to believe in him. And so Corum could be the same. He's got heart, determination. I don't know that he's the prototypical. In fact, I know he's not the prototypical type of running back. But he's certainly capable of being an absolute, monster in a system where Harbaugh would feed him. We've got the 610 caller. Who are you? Where are you calling from? What's your name, pal?
Calling from Denver, Colorado.
Ryan from Denver, Colorado. Ryan, what can I do for you? First of all, is it Saquon Barkley related?
It is not.
Okay, selfish of you, Ryan. real quickly before
As a
you
Penn
get
State alum, I do gotta say, gotta love Saquon.
Okay,
Always
but
gotta love Saquon.
before we get to your selfish question, it has nothing to do with the breaking news piece of news on screen. What do you think about Barkley? Where would you love for him to land out of the locations I'm about to read off to you? Out of these locations that are on my screen right this very second. Travis, for some reason I can't add you with Ryan on the phone. When I disconnect with Ryan, call back. I don't know why Ryan's phone number or whatever is not linking with other callers for some reason. Ryan, Houston, LA Chargers, Houston, Dallas, Baltimore. Pick one. Dallas. Okay, what if Henry goes to Dallas? Where do you want Barkley? Bruce, you call in a second too. Chargers, okay. Hit me with your question real quick, then I got to boot you off because for some reason your phone's not playing well with everybody else's. Go ahead.
All right. With a loaded wide receiver room, would you send 2 of Higgins, Dell, and Ayuk for Bijan, Gibbs, or CMC?
Let's write that down again. Say it again. Ayuk,
Dell, and Higgins. Send
Okay.
2 of those 3 for Bijan, Gibbs, or CMC.
for Bijan, Gibbs, and this is Dynasty.
This is a Dynasty league. I also have Amon-Ra, CeeDee Lamb, and Olave, who are off the table.
Yeah, okay, so you got a lot of value. So first of all, I would try and send Higgins with one of them. I don't really mind which one. I think both Ayuk and Della both have similar value, so I guess whichever one would get it done. I would definitely do it for Bijan or Gibbs. I think CMC's too old to be playing those games. But then again, with the depth that you have, Bruce, call in 1 second, bro. With the depth that you have, I mean, you could do this and it not be a big deal for CMC, to be honest with you. It sounds like, is it 8 or 10-man league? Because it's not 12.
It's a 10-man.
Yeah. I don't think it's a problem to go for CMC given the depth that you have. Who are your running backs?
Right now, the bell cow is Brees, and then it drops off after that with Kamara, Ramondre.
I would try my best. I don't care about giving up Dell or Ayuk. I think both of them are amazing. I probably would keep Dell if it's me, even though Ayuk's got second-round value right now. You know, he in redraft, he's got second-round value. I imagine in Dynasty, once the Dynasty ADP data is stable, he'll be in the second to third-round turn area. So Ayuk's got probably more value than Dell. So it kind of sucks. Maybe you can start off with Dell and Higgins for Bijan Gibbs, and if he gives you any pushback, you can switch out Dell for Ayuk, I guess. Unless you just want to keep Dell more than just who cares about giving up a little bit more. But I smash that.
That's true.
I smash it. Bijan or Gibbs.
A very, very quick follow-up. I could just do one of those 3 for ETN or for Kyron. Would you prefer that?
Oh, God. Oh, yeah. It's Higgins for Kyron, even Ayuk for Kyron. I smashed the hell out of that.
All right. I appreciate it.
Later, bro. Call in anytime, Ryan.
Yes, sir.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Okay, now Bruce and Travis call in. All right, try not to be too selfish. Let's talk Saquon Barkley here. Let's see here. Perps in the building. Perps, appreciate you. Blackbeard, what's up, bro? Travis, put him in timeout. Who needs to go in timeout? What's somebody doing? What's somebody doing in the chat? All right, dial in. Brucey and Travis, I'm sorry about that. For some reason, once in a while, somebody calls in and for some reason, and there's no technical reason to explain it, other phone callers can't be added to the line when that person's on the phone. I don't know what it is. Maybe they're calling from like a satellite phone. I don't know. Let's see if we can get Bruce in here as well. Travis Rowe, Bruce, and Perps. Travis Rowe, Bruce, and Perps are on the phone. If Perps and Bruce could mute, and Travis, go ahead, you're live. And then I'm going to go over to Perps, and then I'm going to go over to the Bruce. So, Travis, you're first. Go.
Yeah, so with on that one where I was asking about Pierce and Singletary, someone was saying they wanted to see Corm in Houston. So I was just kind of comparing those two. But
so you put him in timeout for that?
Barkley.
No, I'm just kidding.
No.
No, I'm joking. Who was the time? Why did Why did Perp say put him in timeout? Who is messing around?
No. 'Cause I made a joke when Ryan called in. I said, he called in with a non-Barkley take, and he blocked up the line.
Yeah. Put him in time.
Alert.
Joking around.
Maximum levels rate.
No, that was a good question though he had.
No, he did. Ryan, I don't want you. Ryan, if you're watching, I don't want you to think you did anything wrong. You don't have to apologize for being Ryan. I was just merely joking because, if I thought it was that bad, I would have hung up on you. Go ahead, Travis.
Yeah, so with Barkley, I think I like him in Houston the best or LA, but the Eckler thing is the only thing that worries me a little. But I think Eckler's probably gone. They're not going to give him a contract, right? Is he an unrestricted free agent?
Yeah, Eckler's gone. Eckler, let me tell you something right now, because I firsthand knowledge. Eckler thinks he's worth the world. and I almost had him on the show, by the way. He canceled. He was going on the show and he canceled. So I don't think I'm going to feel bad about this because I don't think he's coming on the show. But Eckler thinks he's got 2 or 3, 4 years left. A lot of the times these running backs, and I don't blame them. Like, let me just preface this by saying, if I would think I was invincible too.
Took last year too.
Yeah, even like with what I do, with what you do, with what any of us do, we're the anomaly. We're always going to think that. I'm going to try and do this YouTube show till I'm 89, 92 years old. And I think I can do it. But maybe I won't be able to. Maybe I'm in my own little world. I'm oblivious. Sometimes these running backs think they can play it till 35 years old. They're crazy. I mean, like, look at Mostert at 31. There's anomalies, but those anomalies are only. The Ryan says he wants Saquon to the Chargers. He loves that idea. Thank you for the celebratory message, Ryan. Congratulations. The anomalies, a 31-year-old running back, McKinnon, 30. I believe he was 31 or 30. Mostert, 31 years old, he turns 32 walking into this season. Those only happen when the RB does not have a track record of top 5 to 10 running back production for their entirety of their career. Henry, Barkley, Kamara, all these RBs, Christian McCaffrey, any running back that has been a workhorse the entirety of their career, they can't play at 31, 32, 33. Derrick Henry's going to try it at 30. He did it at 28, which is the hold your breath a year. You can do it. Like McCaffrey's entering his 28-year-old season. We're going to hold our breath. Kamara entered his 28-year-old season. We held our breath. He did pretty well the whole entire time. Aaron Jones, his 28-year-old season, we held our breath. He got hurt right away. Missed almost the entire season. Did really good, but missed the entire season. Eckler entered his 28-year-old season. Shotted the bed. Absolute sharted the bed. And he thinks it was his ankle. He thinks it was just, he got slowed down by injury. He was never able to fully explode and cut. And he thinks he's going to come back and go on a holy terror. Now, I will tell you this. Derrick Henry and Eckler are 2 huge avoids for me if the draft capital is even remotely high. However, in underdog drafts, I'm going to admit to you that there are times where I go, okay, 5th round, Eckler's still there. Why not? Or Henry round 4. I've drafted Henry in round 4 like 10 times out of like the last like 40 drafts on underdog. I've done a lot of drafts on underdog. Like I've drafted Henry in round 4. It just depends on where you're getting him. I'm anticipating Henry to be in Dallas in 10 touchdowns. Even if he slows down 900 yards, he can still get that 4th round, 5th round value. As soon as Henry climbs to round 2, I'm out again. As soon as Henry climbs to round 2, I'm preaching he's 30 years old. How is he going to do it? And so the question at hand was Eckler. Eckler is a decent 4th or 5th round gamble because maybe he has what some running backs can have at 29 years old, which is like a burst and then they get injured. But they do well when they're on the field. Think Cooper Kupp. Receivers are 30. Hold on one second. Receivers are 30 years old. That's their hold your breath season. 28 for running backs, 30 for wide receivers. Cooper Kupp, we held our breath. He did well when he was on the field, but he kept getting hurt on and off the field. It's very, very concrete. 28 for running backs, 30 for wide receivers. I don't want to hear, oh, this receiver is different. Maybe, but those are anomalies, and they're very hard to predict. Cooper Kupp is probably, I would guess, in retrospect, one of the wide receivers you would have said would have been different. He wasn't. 30 years old. It was hold your breath type season. So Eckler, he's not going to answer your question, he's not going to go back and maybe he goes and finds no market and comes back. That would be one thing, but he's certainly not going to get a big offer from the Chargers, who didn't give him the contract he wanted when he looked like he could have played a healthy, good, solid season. Now he crapped the bed. They're certainly not going to bring him back for a boatload of money. He probably wants $25 million to $30 million guaranteed. And he's not going to find that. So does he circle back? Maybe. Does he find a home where someone's going to pay him and he saves face and he goes, you know what? I'll do a prove-it deal. I'll show everybody that I can do it. And he's not going to do it. Or maybe he does it part-time, gets hurt. But where he goes will be determining whether I'm in or out at fourth or fifth round value. If Eckler climbs the high third round, I don't care where he is. I'm probably out.
Yeah, he'd have to go to a very specific place, and I feel like wherever he goes, he's probably going to have another back. Because if he's going to be the main back, it's not going to be a contending team, I don't think. I don't know if Buffalo would maybe bring him in, or Philly or something.
Yeah, Cincinnati would be interesting because he could get thrown the football. If Mixon were out of the picture. Philly, I don't know if I like Philly because Philly doesn't throw to their RBs. Something we thought they'd maybe remedy a little bit last year. They kind of didn't, but they ran Swift enough to where we didn't care. I don't think Eckler can hold up under even Swift's workload. So Philly's not a good spot even if he lands there. Buffalo, that could be good because of the way they use RBs, but he'll be inconsistent. Cincinnati would be fantastic. Baltimore would not be. Dallas would not be. They want a workhorse. He'll break down. Houston could be for Eckler because of the way they use Singletary throwing to him a lot. I could see Eckler in Houston. I could see Eckler in Cincy. Any other place? I don't know, bro. All I know is Derrick Henry seems destined to go to Dallas. I feel like that's what Jerry Jones wants. He wants a workhorse. They want to run the damn ball, according to McCarthy, I think, still from last year. They couldn't do it with Pollard. It sucks Pollard didn't, turn out to be what we wanted him to be. Do I think Pollard could go, let's say, to Philly and do what Swift did? Do I think Pollard could go to Buffalo and be solid? Could Pollard go to Baltimore and be good? Sure, but we're going to have to temper our expectations a little bit. But Henry seems destined for Dallas. Barkley seems potentially available for Dallas because he's younger. If Jerry Jones says, hey, I like Henry for 1 year, and I think Jerry Jones is about right now. I don't know that Jerry Jones is worried about the future. I think Jerry Jones is like, bro, our window is wide open. I don't care if we win once and then got to replace Henry or whatever. And Jerry Jones probably thinks Henry could do it for 3 or 4 years. People don't really understand the facts behind a 30-year-old running back. But anyway, I see Dallas for Henry, Barkley to Houston, or Barkley to the Chargers. He could go to the Ravens, but I think it's Houston or Chargers for Barkley, Dallas for Henry. Jacobs gets to go to Baltimore, let's say. I think I see Jacobs in Baltimore. I really do.
That'd be really nice. Yeah. I just feel like Barkley really is a seamless fit in Houston or LA.
Yeah, Houston's perfect.
Seems like he just slides right into either of those. Houston especially, but
yeah, and
Harbaugh runs the ball so much too.
And think about it from Barkley's perspective too. Like I've said this before. These running backs, they're oblivious. They really are. I don't blame them. I would be too. I would think I'm a miracle man if I was one of these running backs. But think about it from Barkley's perspective. He thinks he's young. He thinks he can do it for 5 to 6 more years, 7 more years. He really does. And what place feels like that's on the rise? He wants to be a part of the youth movement. Houston. I think. Yeah. I think he probably sees his team as they can win now. Stroud is such an exciting quarterback to play for. He's going to be a draw. He's going to draw on anybody he wants. I think Barkley's going to say they're going to wow him. They're going to bring him in, and he's going to be very successful in Houston. And it wouldn't shock me if Barkley climbed into the bottom of round 1 if he was playing for the Houston Texans. So we'll have to see where his ADP level's at. Right now, he's a freaking steal in round 2. Best Ball Underdog Fantasy 2024 drafts. Do it live. TheFantasyFootballShow.com just use this link, but you can go to TheFantasyFootballShow.com/underdog if you ever need to find it that way, or just click the link that's in the description of every single video, including this one, and the link that I just dropped in the live chat right this second. That link will get you there too. Let's go over to Perps real quick. Travis, then I'll come back to you. Perps, what's up? You're live.
Yep. Morning, Smitty. What up?
What's up?
Well, first off, I was just joking in the chat, so Ryan, hopefully...
Oh, no.
Offense to it.
You don't have to...
So,
you don't
hopefully
have to,
he's all good, but...
no, you don't have
Barkley,
to worry about that.
You have some good teams on the board, but what's... well, I guess I don't see him going to Minnesota, but Minnesota needs a running back. That Madison struggled all last year, and him and Chandler both proved that they can't hold that running offense up.
You know, it's not
You don't think they're on the board as an option?
I don't think so, because I mean maybe you never know, but Minnesota doesn't feel like they're a contender right now. Maybe that'll change if they bring Cousins back and they could bring Barkley in. I mean JJ is a big draw, like that could draw in a lot of people too. So I get it. But without a quarterback, man, I think this guy's been dealing with no quarterback. So in his mind right now, Minnesota's probably not an option. If they solve that problem, maybe. I just don't think it's going to be on his. I don't think it's going to be on his radar. You never know. It all comes down to money. If none of these teams will pay him, and Minnesota says we'll give you $28 million guaranteed, then he's going to go to Minnesota. But I don't know that that's going to. Joe Vang says Minnesota takes Pollard. I don't think that's crazy. I think Pollard could go to Minnesota. The free agent running back board is right here. Barkley, Eckler, Henry, Jacobs, Swift, Pollard. Swift to Minnesota. Who the hell knows? Pollard.
Yeah, I just throwing it out there from back in the Randy Moss and Adrian Peterson days. When you have a dual threat with a good running back core and a good wide receiver, you're a dangerous team. But you don't have one or the other, it's hard to be successful in this league.
Yeah. Alberto says, but do you think Houston would want to pay a running back? Let me ask you a question, Alberto. Isn't it cheap to sign a running back these days? They get paid nothing. So the answer is no. No team wants to pay a running back. But the answer is also nobody has to pay a running back. They make nothing. And the franchise tag amount should be around 12 to 14 million. And that's for the average of the top 5. So I don't know what Barkley's going to make. I imagine he's going to sign some sort of $25 million deal, maybe 18 of it guaranteed or, something like that. I'm just throwing out a random guess, but I think all these RBs want between 24 and 30 million guaranteed. They're not going to get it. They're not going to get it. They're going to get some sort of team-friendly deal that maybe guarantees them, like, I don't know, 14 to 18 maybe. I don't even know if they'll get 18. Like, I don't know if Barkley could even get. We'll see. We'll see what Barkley can get. But I do know that Houston is not going to have to worry too much about overpaying. I have to run here. I have to run here in a second. So, Perps, go ahead and finish your thought, and then I'm going to circle around, get everybody off, and then I'm going to come back later.
I was just going to say, for all of us playing the fantasy game, I mean, this is a huge move. I mean, I'm sure you said more on it at the beginning of your live, but, with Danny Jones as QB and the way that team's set up, that team's doing him no favors, and Barkley's in those years, as we just talked about with Eckler, where we got to make him count. So I think it's a good thing for him to be moving for a different team, and hopefully he gets set up in the right, situation that's going to benefit all of us when we play this game.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be amazing. I mean, and like I said earlier, the ADP data right now for RBs is very dry. Not dead. It's not a dead zone, but it's a dry zone. It's Achane, it's Barkley, and it's like one or two other names that could fall. ETN sometimes falls into the second round. That's it. I mean, like, there's not a lot to go around in round 2. But maybe Saquon Barkley is going to maybe climb to round 1 too, so that could be complicated. Derrick Henry in Dallas he's a fourth rounder now. I venture to say Derrick Henry in Dallas will excite so many people that they're going to vault him into the bottom of 2 at least. So we'll see. We'll see where, and maybe I'll even get behind that. But I think my early guess is that I love him in 4, like I've been noticing when I'm on the clock, and that's somebody that didn't even like to draft Henry last year. He proved everyone wrong again one more time. But it's not a blueprint or a wormhole that he's opened up. RBs drop off. All right, Perps, appreciate you, man.
Yep, thanks, Smitty. See ya.
Yeah, call in when we go live again. Bruce, real quickly, Bruce, I got to go, so hit me with it real quick.
Hey, Smitty, I know they said he's going to go, but what if they tag him? Because they can tag him a second time.
Yeah, but if they tag him a second time, it's going to be more costly. It's not the same franchise tag amount. It's an increased amount because you tagged him twice in a row. So, okay. Let's say it's $13 million or $14 million to tag a running back. It might be 16 to 18 or something for them to tag him again a second time or something like that. I'm just throwing a number out. I don't know the exact number, but it is an increased amount.
Okay.
Yeah, so I doubt they will, and this report from ESPN was suggesting that that's not going to happen. The idea is that they're going to let him go. He wants $25+ million guaranteed. The guy that spoke on ESPN about it, the Giants reporter, said that basically the Giants are probably going to say, okay, well, good luck, go try and explore it, and if you can't get it, come on back. So that could happen. He could go test the waters, not get any bites, but my guess is he's going to get a bite because there are plenty of teams here on the board here. I mean, take a look at the common denominator here. Houston made the playoffs. Dallas made the playoffs. Baltimore made the playoffs. All 3 of these teams fell short. And you give them a weapon like that, maybe they win it all. That's what they're thinking. And the Chargers have the personnel to do that. They just haven't had the coaching. They might be thinking that too. But Blake Corum is also a thought. Everybody's been saying that, and it's a very, very, common thought, but very, very probably accurate that they're going to be looking to draft him maybe. Which if they sign Barkley and then they draft Corum, it's going to be a problem. So I kind of don't want Barkley to go to the Chargers. I want him to go to Houston.
I want him to go to Baltimore. So,
hey, he'd be good in all 4 of these locations: Chargers, Houston, Dallas, Baltimore. All right, Bruce, you call into the show later.
Right.
Appreciate you, man.
Yep.
Later. Travis, any final thoughts?
I'm calling tonight. I was gonna ask about Justin Jefferson getting traded, but we can do that tonight.
Yeah, that'll be a good topic for the 8 p.m. show. But yeah. I don't think he gets.
All right, man.
Yeah, later.
See ya.
Appreciate you. Okay, Superfish with a $5 hauler. Would Barkley be decent fit for the Packers? I mean, sure. Do I think they're going to do it? No. A.J. Dillon is a free agent, and that might be good for Aaron Jones. Good with Aaron Jones. I don't think it'd be good with Aaron Jones, to be honest, Superfish. I think it'd just be too much to go, like you wouldn't be able to feed both of them. I think Barkley needs to go somewhere where he can be the workhorse, and Aaron Jones. We'll see if Aaron Jones has a little left in the tank, and what's going on with that. But they also might save money by releasing him. I'll look into his contract, but yeah, I don't think Barkley's going to the Packers. You never know though. Money talks. If they feel like that's what they need to win, maybe they make an offer. But I think that Aaron Jones probably excites them a little bit right now, the way he played at the end of the year. But it's a good question, but I don't think he's going to be in Green Bay. You never know. I've been installing cabinets at John Gruden's house. What should I say or ask him? Overcome. Ask him if he could come on the show. I'd love to interview him. And tell him we're John Gruden fans. So I'd love to have John Gruden on. Appreciate you, Overcome. Let me know. DM me. or email me at thefantasyfootballshow.com. I'll see you all later. Appreciate you. Go get Saquon Barkley, would ya? Go do it live. Thank you to my super chatters. Eric, appreciate your $2 hauler. Superfish, your $5. And Overcome, your $5 hauler. You guys absolutely rock. I'll see you guys later at the 8 p.m. show, if not sooner. Live whenever news breaks. Also, don't forget to check out the Rumble channel, rumble.com/thefantasyfootballshow. Don't forget to check the Dynasty channel out, youtube.com/dynastyfantasyfootball. And then you're watching youtube.com/thefantasyfootballshow. All the main show channel shows are also on Spotify, so check those out. I'll see you all at 8 p.m. on this main channel, but please, in the description of the video are all the links to the channels I just talked about. Subscribe to Rumble, subscribe to the Dynasty channel, and make sure you subscribe to this channel if you're new. And also, please get on over to Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. They're giving away, guys, $1 million on Super Bowl Sunday. Okay? They're giving away $1 million on Super Bowl Sunday. All you got to do is have an Underdog account. You don't even have to do anything else. The qualification is to have an Underdog account. I just dropped the link in the live chat. I'll drop the link one more. There it is. I just dropped it. Underdog Fantasy. Just download the app real quick. The link inserts code Smitty for you. If you're watching a replay of the video, the link's in the description. Or if you download the app, use code Smitty. If you've got the Underdog app, they're dropping $1 million in little increments to tons of people throughout the day. You're just going to get a $100 deposit if you're a lucky recipient. $1 million. And if you sign up for a new account, they have this claim your big game special where Patrick Mahomes just needs to get 1 yard, and you hit the higher on that. Code Smitty, and Pick'ems have just been dropped. Pick'em Champions has just been opened up in Alabama, Colorado, Missouri, Mississippi, Tennessee, West Virginia, and Wyoming. Don't miss out on this. Download the app right now. I'll drop the link one more time. All you got to do is have an Underdog account. And I think the minimum's $10. They'll double your first deposit up to $100. So if you deposit the minimum of 10, they'll give you 10. If you do 100, they'll give you 100. But don't miss out on potentially winning money. They're giving away $1 million in airdrop cash bonuses throughout the entirety of the big game on Sunday. Appreciate you all. And Perps coming in with an absolute wad at the end. Chat, remember to smash the like button. Perps dropping a 20. Appreciate you, Perps. Perps to the moon. See you all later.